Hi there, this time we will be applying what we've learned about linear equations through some word problems. For our first example, we have the sum of three consecutive numbers is 60. Find the numbers. Now, the first task that you need to do here is first, carefully analyze the problem. What are the missing and what are the given? So that's the basic. And then the next thing you need to do is to identify what symbols or what variables or expression will represent the missing values. And in this case, we are looking for the three consecutive numbers whose sum is 60. So we have three unknown numbers here. But do we need to use different variables like x, y, and z? If you're thinking about this is incorrect. Why? Because actually, these three consecutive numbers, since they are related to one another, it can be represented by one variable. So how will it happen? So let's say this is my first number, second number, and third number. And since these three are consecutive, now the difference between these numbers is simply 1, correct? So if my first number, let's say since this is the beginning number, if this is x, then my second number must be x plus 1. If my second number is x plus 1, then we add 1 to this, to our x plus 1, to get the third number, or simply that is x plus 2. So this is how we represent consecutive numbers. Actual examples, simply 1, 2, 3. If our x is 1, then our x plus 1 is 2, then our x plus 2 is 3. That's an actual example to let you know that this is the general expression we use for consecutive numbers. And now that we have the consecutive numbers, we can now formulate our working equation, which based on the relationship of our consecutive numbers. And according to this, the sum of these three numbers is 60. So the sum of these three numbers, which are x, and then x plus 1, and then x plus 2, the sum of these three is meaning equal to 60. Simplifying this, we have 1, 2, 3 x's here, so 3x, and then plus 1 plus 2 is 3 equals 60. Simplifying this, let's subtract 3 from both sides, or add the negative 3, so we can have 3x left here as equal to 57. And now for the next step, let's use the space on the side. 3x equals 57, divide both by 3, and x will be equal to 19. Which means to say, if our first number is x, or 19, our second number will be x plus 1, or 19 plus 1, which is equal to 20. And our third number is 19 plus 2, which is equal to 21. So the three consecutive numbers which we are looking for is 19, 20, and 21. And if you add them all together, the sum will be 60. So let's have our second problem, which is an age problem. So I'll show you how to answer this systematically. So let's read first the problem. A man is 5 times as old as his son. 4 years ago, the sum of their ages was 52. Find their present ages. Now, assuming we understand and analyze it clearly, second thing you need to find out in an age problem is, or are, the period of their ages involved in the problem. Are we talking about their past, present, or future ages? Let's try to find some clues in the problem. Obviously, present ages will be needed, so the present. But aside from this sentence, we can also make use of the first sentence as the clue that present ages are involved because the first sentence, they are describing it in present tense. The man is 5 times, the man's age is 5 times as old as his son. So that's their assumed present age. Now, aside from the present age, we also have another clue, 4 years ago, which means we are also dealing with their past ages. Now, let's make a simple table out of this, comparing their present and past. So let's put the man's age here and the son's age here. We'll start using the clues given in our problem, or whichever are we trying to look for in our problem. So we'll start on that. And since we're working with the present ages, then better start with the present age. But how we will represent their ages will depend on how they are described in our problem. And according to our first sentence, A man is 5 times as old as his son. So the man's age was described using his son age. So we cannot represent the man's age without knowing the son's age. And since the son's age is unknown, so basically we let it as x. Then after letting it as x, we can represent this as 5x to show that it is 5 times the son's age. And if we know the present, we can easily get the representation for their past age, which is 4 years ago. 4 years ago is an indication of operation subtraction. And if our present age is 5x, so this will become 5x minus 4. And the son's age is x minus 4. So using their past ages, we can formulate our equation because based on our second sentence, which indicates an equation comparing it to 52, 4 years ago, the sum of their ages was 52. So the sum of their ages 4 years ago, which are 5x minus 4, and then plus x minus 4, okay, adding them together was 52. That's according to the problem. And simplifying this, 5x plus x is 6x, negative 4 plus negative 4 is negative 8, equals 52. And now let's add 8 on both sides to cancel the 8. We'll have 6x equals 60. And lastly, divide both sides by 6. We'll get x is equal to 10. So x is actually the present age of of the son, which is 10. And by the time that the son is 10, the father's age is 5 times 10, which is simply 50. So these are their present ages. For our last example in a science test, Diane scored 15 marks more than Lexi. If Diane obtains twice as many marks as Lexi, find the number of marks Lexi obtained. So we have two people involved here. D for Diane, let's represent D for Diane, and L for Lexi. Okay, so what will represent Diane's score and Lexi's score? According to our problem, Lexi's score, or Diane's score, was defined or was described through Lexi's score. So that gives us the idea that since Lexi's score was the basis, so we let it as our x or whatever variable you want to use. And as for Diane, we actually have here two descriptions. First is Diane score 15 marks more than Lexi. So if Lexi's score is x, then we add 15 since it's 15 more than Lexi's. And the other one is it is twice as many as Lexi, so it's 2x. How can we find the number of marks Lexi obtained here? Using this expression. So we know that x represents Lexi's, and what we have here are the two representations for Diane's scores, which we can use as an equation. Why? Because these two are equal. This 2 represents Diane's score. So x plus 15 is actually equal to 2x. And let's remove the x here. So we'll have 15 is equal to x. So if Lexi's score is 15, then probably Diane's score is 30 or x plus 30. But the problem is looking for the number of marks Lexi obtained. So the answer must be 15 marks. Alright. For your assignment or for your test, I want you to try this. When loaded with bricks, a lorry has a mass of 11,600 kilograms. If the mass of the bricks is 3 times that of the empty lorry, find the mass of the bricks.